This is early in the morning. I have weigh-ins. I forgot what time it was. So I'm like, all right, I have a few hours. I turn it on, and I'm sitting there waiting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. This thing's broken. So I'm like furious now. I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me it's broken? You know, I didn't know what to do. So I go on my phone and I put in nearest gym. And this gym comes up. I'm in Las Vegas. I have no clue where I am. This gym comes up called Hawks Gym. So I'm like, all right, Hawks Gym. I dial them. I call them. They're like, Hawks Gym, how can we help you? I'm like, you guys have a sauna? They're like, yes, sir. We have a dry sauna and a wet sauna. I said, I'll be right over. Okay. So I get in the car, and I was with Juliana this year, right? She was doing women's physique, and I was doing classic physique. So we had one car, and she had to go get her makeup done and everything. We're both about to do prejudging in a little while. So she drops me off, and the plan was that I only had a certain amount of time here. I like maybe 2 hours to drop weight in the sauna and then take an Uber to weigh in. So I'm like looking around. I'm like, I don't see any gyms here. This is a huge industrial building with like a black door. There's no gym. There's no storefront. And then all of a sudden I see a sign over the door. It says Hawks Gym. I'm like, oh man, what am I getting myself into? I open the door and I walk into this like small, like 5x5 caged room, pitch black. Okay. It's like 11 in the morning, pitch black with black lights. And just like chains and whips hanging everywhere, and like pictures of guys and thongs and slings and all this shit. And then there's a little window, little cutout window, and there's like a guy sitting back there. I'm like, is this Hawks Gym? He's like, yes. I'm like, oh man, I just, you know, this was an all man's, what do you? I don't even know what to call it.
Sex club?
Or? Yeah, a sex club or something.
Dungeon.
You guys could Google it. It exists, you know. So I'm like, shit, I have no choice. So I paid the day rate, the fee or whatever it was, and I walk in, and it's got lockers and it's got like sauna and steam room.
I'm not going to use the chains. Is that a lesser rate? No whips for me.
There was a room about the size of this room with like a couple dumbbells and a couple little things so they could call it a gym. And it was just I guess a meeting place for dudes. And it was dark and damp, and I was freaking pissed off, but I couldn't leave.
You were in the sauna.
I had no choice. There was TVs playing some interesting videos
to get everybody in the mood.
Yeah, all male videos.
It wasn't a Dorian lifting or a Ronnie Coleman, was it?
Absolutely not.
It might have been. That was on track too.
Well, you came prepared with the rubber suit, right?
I came with the rubber suit, but the thing is, with me, with the weigh-in, like I have to go sit in the sauna, and I sweat and I sweat and I sweat, and I calculate, okay, hopefully I sweated enough, and then I get out, I take everything off, naked, and I stand on the scale. How am I going to do this over here? So it was interesting and difficult, but I stuck it out, and I ended up making weight. I told my coach at the time, and I told Jules like what happened, where I was, and then my phone died. So now they thought I got like abducted and raped because my phone died. So the guy had to call me a taxi. I was like panicking because I thought I was going to miss weigh-in. And I finally made it over there, and I made weigh-in, but it was a hell of an experience. The things we do.